think we are live. All right, I think we are working. I need a longer cable here. Okay, yeah, no, it says health is. I knew it would. It always says my health is bad when I start these streams, but it's just because it's not. The stream is dynamic, and if I'm not playing guitar and I'm not talking, then there's not a lot to send up other than sort of a picture, and it's not enough data, and they're like your stream isn't good enough. It's like but it is. It's fine. What's up, dudes? Good evening. I see Terry. Joe, Kenneth, Michael, Peter, Mark, and Ben and Krellbar. What's up, B-Master? What's up, Purple Rock in Germania? Andre in Toronto. No, you rock, Peter. What's up, Blues Manus? What's up, Gary, over in Oregon? Oregon? What's up, Mark? Yeah, I did this last time, Mark. I did the stand-mounted mic because it does a better job. And I got the air conditioner running in the background, so loud. The dynamic mic does a much better job than the condenser mic at not picking that up. Winston says new Strat. No, I've had this Strat. Let me bring my camera up on so I can see it. There it is. No, this one's for sale. It's not quite as yellow as it shows in the camera, though. It's like the camera's got the colors blown out. Probably have the saturation on the cam up. But I had it up for $750. I had no takers. I'd drop it to $7. USA Deluxe Strat. It's a deluxe, bro. Plus actual shipping, wherever it is. Unfortunately, it's Rosewood. So it's got to stay in the U.S., right? Or else it's CITES. Yeah, voice is a little low. Maybe I just need to be a little closer. Can also bring that up a hair. Is that better? What kind of pickups are there? Whatever's stock. It's the noiseless in the neck and probably the V-twin in the bridge, right? I gotta think that's what it is. Guitar's a bit loud. Hold on. See if that's a little better. Jill Harvey says my mom said you were good. Well, your mom would know. Did instruments get a sites exemption? There's been talk about it, But I don't think anything's gone into effect because every single time they talk about it, they, I haven't seen any like real movement on it. I heard about it literally 2 years ago in like 2017. They were talking they were going to change it, you know. Hey, what's up, Ben? Yeah, so I think it was going to be for finished instruments, right? As long as the guitar was completed. Then, so like if you're making guitars, you'd still have to go through the whole sites thing for the raw materials. But if the guitar is made, or the neck even is made parts, I think it's got to be just like a finished product. Then they would they'd allow you to ship it without, a special. The problem is that there are woods that look like rosewood that are completely banned. And people are going on there and basically lying and saying, it's rosewood. And so they had to put rosewood on to just put an end to that. Because, that was becoming a real problem. What's up, Baker? Don't discount that. It's a good move. What's up, Baker bro? Harley Benton uses fake rosewood. Well, I think they don't call it rosewood though. They call it like is it black limda? Iron? Is it ironwood? Is that what they call it? They call it something, but they don't call it rosewood. It just looks like rosewood, just like Palfero. Kind of looks like rosewood. It's a little lighter. Yeah, facial expression included. Exactly. It's very important. It's very, very important. Steve, do you know what? No, I never learned the solo. It's a glaring omission in my line. I mean, go ahead. It's basically a 3-chord tune, but I never learned it. This is just from memory. Some shit like that. I should learn that. In fact, I should learn a lot of the Hendrix stuff I never really learned completely. You learn the main riff, and who's got time for the rest of that, right? Yeah, Lingdom Rosa. Yeah, Lingdom Rosa, right? That's pretty close. It's dark. It's fairly consistent. Maybe a little streaking. Maybe looks more like streaking ebony, quite frankly. Slideshow. You know what? I have a slideshow. Because I just got back from Nashville. What scale length do you prefer? I don't know if I play a lot of strats, so maybe subconsciously I prefer the longer, 25 and a half versus the 24 and 3/4. But, I don't really notice a difference. Sorry. People pour over those specs, but I'm not a huge guy on on that stuff. I'll be honest, I didn't even really know the scale lengths until about 10 years ago. Steve, can the public attend Summer NAMM? On Saturday they can. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. No show on Sunday. And the Saturday show is open to the public. This one here, it's what they call channel bound. So it looks like binding, but what it really is they let the neck look like you're going to make a one-piece maple neck. You let it go all the way up to the front, and then about 1/8 of an inch in or 1/4 of an inch in, you dig out a channel for the fretboard, and it's an inlaid fretboard, like into the face of the neck. Pretty clever, actually. They don't do it anymore. They did it for 2014. They did it on the 2013 Select Strat, the 2014 Select Strat, and the 2014, I want to say 60th anniversary of the Stratocaster. And you could get it in like Dakota Red, maybe Sonic Blue, and they made a telly, and the telly was also in, I think, like Sonic Blue. The telly looked pretty hot, I gotta say. Yeah, so it does look like binding, but it, in a very real sense, it's not, because it's not like I have a 65 Japanese reissue. That's got like just, plastic binding, whatever that is, the nylon binding they use. But that's not it. That's all just wood. It's pretty good. And then they roll the corner so round. It's like one of the most comfy necks out there, those Select Strats. I wonder if the American Standard has the same feel to the neck with the satin back and all that. That neck's also got like a stupid amount of bird's eyes and flames on it, right? Because it's the Select Strat. Hey, what's up, Mark? Steve, your thoughts on the Squier Bullet Telly? Well, the Bullet series tends to be like one of their lowest cost ones. I find that for a little bit more money, if you can get into I forget if it's the Standard, one of those series, I find the ones that say Duncan designed on the pickups, they sound better. Having gone back and forth between a bunch of Standards and a bunch of ones that I think the Vintage Modified said Duncan designed. I want to say the Deluxe, right? The Strat Deluxe under the Squier brand has Duncan design pickups in it, and the classic vibes sound good. But the Bullet pickups, I don't think they're quite as nice. Yeah, there I am. I'm on 4. Oh, thanks, Mark. Greetings, Jason. Steve, did you visit Kramer? Any news about the night's one? I didn't. Well, I guess I kind of did visit Kramer, now that you mention it. I did go to the Epiphone factory, where, and I went to the Gibson factory, too. Unfortunately, the Gibson, we can talk about that for a couple of minutes. So I went to the Gibson factory last year, and I went again this year. And wow, it was a huge difference between the 2 years. It really was. So last year when we went, now both years they wouldn't let me shoot any video or audio. Last year, after the tour was over, I basically said, I'm a YouTuber. I'm here as a guest, not as like a regular tour, but like a VIP tour, and I get like a little footage. And they got out a manager, and the manager said, "Yeah, come on in. I'll tell you what you can shoot and what you can't shoot." Fine. I went in and I shot a little bit of video and a little bit of still photo. This year, there was no VIP for me to talk to, even though I was there on a friggin' VIP tour. And they were like adamant, no, you can't take any photos, you can't take any video. So all I can do is just tell you the difference between the 2 years. Here's the difference. It was a lot cleaner in there. Like, immensely cleaner. It was immensely brighter than last year. It was a much brighter floor. The areas were cordoned off with sheets of plexiglass, unlike these, like, it's hard to explain, but it's almost like a steel rail at the bottom, and it pinches a piece of plexiglass that goes up anywhere from, like, maybe, the low ones might be like around, I'm 6 feet tall, or maybe my shoulder height, and the tall ones like a little over my head, right, to lock in sound and debris. That's why it was a lot cleaner. It was a lot cleaner. That's all I kept saying is, like, look at this floor. It's really clean. Because last year we were commenting how it wasn't clean at all. And, like, you wonder if they were getting, like, debris. And they had, like, the, last year I remember them shooting the, like, the lacquer, like, separated with giant sheets of plastic, and now they're just in a completely separate building. Right? They just put that outside in a whole other place. And it wasn't as thorough this time. We didn't see everything. They wouldn't take us out to see the lacquer being shot, the finished work. But I did see the final assembly. So the guitar has been fully painted. It's ready to go. And, where they use a little jig to drill out where the back plate goes on. Right. It's already finished. They just have to drill the holes for where the jack is going to go. And they have all these jigs, like, ready to go. Last year, one person would do a lot of the finished work themselves on the guitar, right? They would pretty much get the body, and they would know all the things, and they would work on the guitar until it was done, strung up, and put it out. That's not the way they do it now. Now it's on an assembly line, and, like, each person is sort of just like an expert at what they do. So one dude just drills and puts in certain pieces of hardware. It moves to the next step. That dude does, like, a little bit of maybe wire harnessing, right, and some assembly there. Puts the knobs in, something like that. Then that moves on to the next guy. He might be soldering or connecting or doing something, right? It's like it's all in this big thing. And then it finally gets to the last guy who's, like, looking it over, and he's tuning it and he's polishing it. And, the guitar is done. It just seemed a little better. I'm just straight up, like, compared to last year. Like, last year felt, like one person had to keep leaving their station to go get a certain tool or a certain something they needed to get their work done with. They even talked about it this year, about how this was, like, a much better, like, just final step. They'd implemented it about 6 months ago. One of the guys on the assembly line was the guy who did my tour last year. And so it was just really, really interesting. They had more CNC this year than they did last year. Last year they had, I think, a little bit more by hand, a little bit more by CNC now. And that last area of assembly was, like I said, just so friggin' bright. It was like, damn. So, what's up, Showman Blues? Yeah, Mark said more efficient, but probably more boring for the employees. Probably, except the guitar they're working on. I think last year you were like the Les Paul guy, and all you worked on was Les Pauls. But now, like, all the different types of guitars go through the lineup. So maybe it's a little bit more interesting because you never know what's going to come down the pipeline next, right? That you're going to be working on. and each one is a tiny bit different than the other one. So there's probably, Jesus, a couple of dozen lineups, right, that they have to go through, whether it's a semi-hollow or, a Les Paul or an SG or one of their more esoteric models. Hate to see you gash. So yeah, I just felt like I couldn't believe how clean it was. Like the floors were like fucking shiny, like glossy, right? It's totally different from last year. It was a little bit more like, well, this is a factory. This is like a working factory, like a working wood shop, and you'd get in there and it's all full of, wood debris and stuff like that, and but it was so you could eat off that freaking floor, and like I said, the whole place just felt brighter. Like they definitely put in like more lights, and it was quieter because I think of those plexiglass barriers that were sort of like locking the sound into certain areas and the debris to keep it from just going everywhere, right? Instead of a floor full of machines, it kind of partitioned them a little bit. They still wrap binding in cheesecloth, and they still do a lot of stuff by hand. But it felt like the whole operation was definitely just, a little more streamlined, a little better, and cleaner and just neater and brighter, and just the whole thing felt like it's the same car, but it just got out of the car wash, This looks a little better. So, push my volume up a little bit. All right, hold on. Is that a little better? Let me know if that's too strong. Check. What's up, Saugus? Ken from Saugus. They're holding the meeting on sites in August 16th, which we scheduled from back in the spring. Hopefully they'll vote on it. Yeah, I think, I think it's going to go through. There's just too much push in the industry. Oh, I am drinking, I'm drinking Starbucks. Starbucks French roast from Costco. Way better. Steve from Beantown House saying, what Catologist at Summer NAMM, did he launch it? He had problems with it. No, nothing like that. It was funny. We got stopped. I saw him, we were chatting, and then, you got to keep moving. Your legs, like, swell up with fluid. Got to keep, unless you're sitting down, got to keep walking. You're standing in any one place for like 10 or 15 minutes, it's like you're dying. So we were walking, and he got sucked into they had a couple of medical device companies there that were trying to sell, like, electrical stimulation. And they were like, he succumbed to their charms and went over and had tried it out. I was like, hell no. No. I'm good. What's up, RC32? Come to Saugus. Tomorrow is Wing Day. That sounds like a great day to have. Any new guitar from NAMM? No, I didn't get anything. Vola had some new guitars. I was looking through it. I didn't have any still photos, unfortunately. Oh, thanks, Chad. Thanks, buddy. Coffee lately. I only drink beer when I'm away because I have enough beer while I'm traveling. Oh. Oop. Here we go. Much better. So, but everyone, you must have seen that friggin' video I did of the roller pickup guitar. That thing went friggin' viral. That's been seen by 2.5. It's got like 1.1 million views, but they break it down by reach, not just view. And it's like 2.5 million people. It's been shared over 16,000 times. Kind of crazy. And I earned $0. Welcome to the new economy. CRC. The hit of the show, thanks to that video, J-Rock. I think so. I think it gave them a huge push, having that video go viral like that. Because then, like, everyone else was rushing out to see if they could strike gold with it too. But, it's just a timing thing. I was like the first one to go up, right? First mover status. And the second was that it was no talk and just me flipping through pickups and flipping through the other side. And that was it. And I did it really just for my people on. I said, let me shoot I shot it square because I shot it for Instagram, right? I was like, what's a cool Instagram video I can do? I said, oh, that's that guitar with the roller stuff. Well, that's kind of cool. So I did it, and I posted it to Instagram, and then I actually posted it separately to YouTube because when I have Instagram send a video to YouTube, I mean, not YouTube, Facebook, they always kill the quality. Whereas if I post it direct to Facebook, it's much better quality. So I posted it to both formats, and it did, a couple of 100 views, maybe 2,000 views on Instagram, and 1.1 million views on freaking Facebook. Went berserk. Oh. It's a cool video. Yeah, it's very basic. But it just, it connected with people because it was like, what the hell what am I looking at here, right? With the roller. And everyone had a, comment. It's got like, on it probably has 4,000 comments, but it's got like 25,000 comments if you go and look at comments on shares, which I don't think that information is available on the page, but I can see it. Now they want me to go through extra verification because I have quote unquote like high reach posts. So like Facebook has bestowed a little more scrutiny on me because I had such a wide reach with that post. It's kind of weird. What's up, Cleveland? Hello, Cleveland. $700. It's the deluxe. Yo, dudes, Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island. I've actually been there. Oh, thanks. Weren't probably Werner. And Pixie loves Germany too. The Schwenker. Any thoughts on Reverb Etsy? You know what? I don't. The guy from Reverb is like, time to cash out, right? Isn't that the American dream? To build up a firm and then sell it to someone bigger, and then just go and like live your life as a multi-millionaire. I mean, that's pretty much it. It's cashing out at some point. So the guy runs it for a while. He builds up a business and he sells it. Awesome. I never use Reverb, so it was sort of a non-story for me, What's up, Steve from Mississippi? Hi, Steve from Rossi. Oh, God. My dad had a place in Trethui Brothers block there, near the barber on Washington Street. Play Eye of the Tiger. I don't know if I know Eye of the Tiger. I'm going to have to think about that. What's the weight on that Strat? It's not too heavy. I think it's alder. I'm going to say 8. I'm going to say in the 8 range. Any Lynch riffs? Not really. I'd have to think about it. When is the Black Spirit 200 combo coming in? Great question, Rich from Houston Kettner. Combo number 11, bro. Combo number 11. When we did the Rocking 1000 live, that's what I was playing. I was playing combo number 11. So I made it known that if they could find combo number 11, I'd love to have it. And I have the Black Spirit head right there. The great thing about that versus this, so there's the Grandmaster 40 and there's the Black Spirit 200 head. The head for the Black Spirit, because it is solid state, you can just plug it into anything between 100 and 240 volts and it just automatically adjusts, just like your cell phone charger would. Where that, because it really harnesses the voltage through transformers, needs to have the correct transformers, and so it's much harder to get a USA correct one of these versus one of these, which is just, you can sell it all over the world, and you're going to be able to just plug it in as long as you have the right end, just to plug in the old Socceroonie. So, they might be able to get me that combo, right? If that combo was tube, then no matter what they did, I wouldn't be able to plug it in, I think, in America, unless it has a voltage switch on the back, but I don't think there's do. So, it would be... more likely that, they wouldn't be able to get it for me. But with the Black Spirit 200, I think it will just work. The new Kramers versus the AVH Kramer 5150 series, you can actually buy the EVH. But thoughts on the Kramers? All right. A lot of people were saying that when I was pointing out the Kramers. They were like, yeah, but you can't buy them. And I spoke with the Kramer dude there, and he kept repeating. He wouldn't shut up about it. Kept going on and on and on about, and they're already shipping. They're already shipping. And he said that they're what they call a first in, first out. So it depends on the dealer. And the first order's in or the first order's out. And he said the first round of all the Kramers was already shipping. But it depended on the dealer. And probably EVH has, because they're made in Mexico versus, I think those are Indonesia, the Kramers. I think it's easier for them to get their stock up and running and going. I played them both. I liked the Kramer better. I liked the neck on it better. I didn't care for the headstock on the EVH. EVH had some nice guitars there, but I didn't care for that particular one. I think Kramer does it better. The old Who Wore It Better? I'm going with Kramer on that. And I love the new Kramer SM1 series. They moved from EMGs to Duncans. I think they're pretty much all in on Duncan now. Makes sense, go with the passive stuff. But we'll see if I can get one of those there. They had a candy blue. They had, I think, what was called an orange crush. I got photos. Is it time to switch to the... Should we do the slideshow? It feels early. Should we start the slideshow? Shipping to Europe first, yeah, maybe, but again, they're a global company, and he did mention first in, first out. So if if Thomann got their order in first, maybe they went to Thomann before they're going to the U.S. Nashville hot chicken. It does. Come on. Okay. I'm going to Nashville without taking a photo of Nashville hot chicken. I mean, that's just insane. What did I pay for that hotel for? All right. Here we go. Oh, shit. Hold on. My main question is, were they already shipping? Sure. Probably should have turned that on before I started the show, but, it happens. It happens. All right, here we go. What's up, Guitar Geek? Okay, so what I need to do is go here. Go here. And then bring that up. Yeah. All right. I'm setting up the slideshow. Just give me a second here. Do. And right here. And it's thinking. And there it is. I have to go like full screen or it doesn't really. I think it's F11, right? And haven't we determined it's F11? It is. It is F11. Okay. Okay, people. Let's see. I need to go. Yeah, right there. Okay. All right. Is Steve Stein on with us tonight? Is he? Hung out with Steve at Hughes and Kettner Spirit Con 2, where we played. That is with the 70s neck. That is a Select Strat, a 2013. Okay. All right. Hold on to your butts. Oh, God, I'm a freaking genius. All right. So, these are the clouds that my plane drove through. Flying through. Crazy rain. Actually, we did fly through some pretty crazy rain. It was like thunder and lightning on the other side of the tarmac when we were trying to take off, and we were rocking and rolling up there as we were going through some pretty serious freaking storm clouds. So, yeah, it kind of sucked. The ride back was pretty shitty for a little bit of the takeoff. A lot of the takeoff, pretty much, was pretty. It was pretty nasty. Again, you can see there, it was just, pretty kooky. Lots of clouds and storminess. Those are clouds punching up from the bottom layer up to the top layer. And, yeah, it was, yeah. And then finally... we're in Nashville. Yeah. Yeah. We're coming in. We're coming in hot. We're just coming in for another controlled crash. Then, as soon as I landed, I went over to the Roland party, which was, pretty close to my place. I was staying at the Hutton, and the Hutton had this is in Love Shack Studios, and so it was only like a couple of blocks where I was staying, but it was hot and muggy like crazy, and they were predicting mad thunderstorms. And I was like, you're gonna walk halfway there, and it's gonna you're gonna have a goddamn microburst above your head, and you're gonna be soaking wet. So I was going to call an Uber, but instead I wound up calling they have a Tesla that's free at the hotel. I only had to wait about 15 minutes. They picked me up in the Tesla, and it's good within 3 miles of the hotel. And this was only like 1.5 miles. So I was plenty of cushion. So, Davidas was there. He was doing a little jam back in the jam space. It was pretty awesome. So I got out of there and I got back to my hotel. That closed up. They closed up at 9. It got about 10 o'clock. I texted Baker, no response. He never looks at his texts. I texted Greg, who's this gentleman right here. Just ate a piece of hot chicken. And he doesn't text me. He calls me. I'm like, where you at? He goes, I'm the next person in line at Hattie B's. What do you want? I'm like, chicken. So he got us Hattie B's. And it was delicious. There it is. There's the hot chicken. It's hotter than it looks. It's pretty damn hot. Is it crazy nuclear hot like Arnold had? No. No, that's just gluttony for punishment. He got like the hottest, like craziest chicken there, and I just got the regular hot, and it was pretty damn hot. What's up, David? And let's see. That's a cup from Hattie B's. And so there are a couple of... Oh, thanks, Roy. Do you prefer the Gibson Les Paul alternative? Well, I only have one Les Paul, and I have about 10 Strats, so I'd say probably more a Strat guy. I'm playing one right now. Though I have a Les Paul copy with the Ibanez, but so there's your candy blue and your orange crush, which are new colors for the SM1 with your Duncan pickups. They tell me they're shipping, but maybe not till September. You know how that goes. When PV announces an amp in like January, it doesn't really get out to people till like October. Right? Because they're taking orders. And then they're building to the orders. That is me and Joe Morgan and Matt from Boss. That's me and Thomas Blug from Blue Amp. That's some more of the Kramer stuff. I really love the new Kramers. I'm just saying, I'm a Kramer guy. Going way back. Love the green, though that green isn't exactly right. They probably need to hire me as a consultant. I'm just saying. I'm very inexpensive. And they never made a blue like that. But it is a nice color. It's a gorgeous color, actually. Me and a couple of fans who came up and would harass me for photos. These guys were awesome. These guys are real cool. Especially this guy right here. You can tell. He has a certain unbridled enthusiasm. This was a cool company. This company had me intrigued. So they're a low-cost guitar. They're like a Harley Benton level guitar, right, in terms of cost. Like $300 to $500, right? Like their top-of-the-line model is like $650 or something like that. So they're really, really inexpensive. They're trying to keep them around $500. But here's what they do. They've partnered with Wilkinson. I think they're called Vintage. They partnered with Wilkinson, so it's all like Wilkinson hardware and pickups and stuff. So it's like a top quality pickup, and you can get them all shiny and new, or they'll relic them up, whatever you like. And I gotta say, some of them they look pretty damn awesome. Yeah, there's a bunch of them right there. So here's like a relic, and there's a shiny one if you want them shiny. The whole row of shiny ones. But they had a few more relics like on the other side. And this company was kind of intriguing. It's classic shape. It's very much like Harley Benton, except they used brand name hardware with the Wilkinson brand. And they offered a relic, if that's what you want, what you're into. I don't know what that was, but I'm pretty sure it was expensive. It's like a 12-string parlor. I forget what table this was from. This might have been from back on that vintage table again. Damn, I gotta tape those up. All right. Yeah, because those are Wilkinson pickups. I think I'm back at that table again, right? Because there's that TV one, and there's their like Hendrix copy, right? Right. So there was the Gibson booth. They just brought it. They brought it again, just like they did for, for Winter NAMM, where they, you walked in there and you were like, holy Christ, look at this place. It's like unbelievable. They did the same thing for Summer NAMM. So they had this like super mega booth So on this side over here, it's like acoustics and Epiphones on the outside. Back on this side, way in that back corner, that's all the Kramers. Down in here is Steinberger and other stuff. And then on this side, over here is all like Gibson acoustics, Gibson electrics, and there's all Gibson mixed in the middle here. And then there's a back wall back here. There's a stage up here under these blue lights, right? And but in the back there's a wall, and they have like all top shelf stuff hanging up back there. It was an impressive booth. Once again, I did run into the CEO. I did get an interview with them. If you're looking for like a gotcha interview, I didn't do it. He was nice enough to grant me the interview, and it was just sort of very upbeat. So I didn't give him a hard time. As I'm sure some people would have loved me to. Again, just a closer look at the lineups. A little bit more on that Kramer stuff. This was at the Peavey booth. Peavey had a couple of these, I guess they're called the Wolfgang, the EVH. I don't know what the HPs now. I don't even know what the hell they're calling them. But they had a couple there that were freaking gorgeous. This was one of them. I don't know where the other one was. This is the back side of the Gibson booth. So on the other side, this is all meeting rooms down here on the side, and on the other side of this is all kinds of showcases of guitars. And they had all these trusses they brought in. Hey, that's a $100,000 booth right there, guys. Fender Custom Shop. Has diamonds and rubies and emeralds and crap. If that's what you're into. That is John Cruz. And if you don't know who John Cruz is, then you're probably not way into the Fender Custom Shop, because you would know that John Cruz is a master builder, like much like Thorne there. God, what was his first name? Ron Thorne out at TGU. He is, I would say he's even a little more famous than Ron Thorne. All right, John Cruz, he's been around forever. He is like big time master builder for Custom Shop. That's me and Guitarologist hanging out. That's Gregory Cockery going through his spielola. I shot some really good video with that. Some fun back and forth. It was fun. I have no idea what this is. I want to say it's an alternative material. That looks to me like a graphite body. Again, graphite body. Again, I think it's a graphite body, but they just painted it. Right, this is right. Again, there's the back of it. It goes to show you. It's all like alternative materials, composites. Swappable, but not as cool. Not as cool as the Roto guitar. And this is Brad, who decided, I'll try your stupid increased muscle performance, better than 10s crap that they plugged in and was back. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that, dude. He said it sucked. I believe him. Though he looked happy right there. I was probably cracking a joke, going, dude, strap it to your balls. You might get some action. More of the Gibson booth. There's the Gibson dude carving up the carve with the carver. If you remember, we saw this project get started at Dallas, at the Dallas International Guitar Festival. It's the same guitar. And there is one of the finished ones. Pretty cool. And in fact, if you look closely, you can see the flames through the gold. It has gold flames. Yeah, that's right. We're gold flaming it. All right. This is an expensive guitar. What you're buying, let me just tell you what you're buying. Okay? You're buying a guitar, but it's really a piece of art. Okay? You're getting this, see this big slab here? This big old slabola? That's the guitar. That's the wood that this guitar was carved out of. You can literally see. So you're getting the piece of wood. You can see where this is going. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. So there's the guitar that was literally cut from this wood. This is the excess trim. But this is the cut, and then they finish it, and you get this amazing thing. It's, I think at this point it's beyond a guitar. It's a piece of artwork, right? It's a guitar-inspired piece of art. And it has an art price to it, I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's about $20,000. And they only make like 5 of them or something like that, or something like a year, or not even. Like, they make 5 and then they sell them and then they do another 5. So it's a very extremely low production rate. They're all one of a kind. They come with the slab of whatever the hell that is. I'm going to assume it's mahogany. And, yeah. So, we went to Monell's. Did I have a picture of Monell's? No, I didn't. We went to Monell's. I thought I included it. Anyway, we went to Monell's and had dinner. And then we went to the Gibson, me and Hunter got dropped off over at the Gibson event. And it was amazing because we showed up there and I was like, holy crap, that's Chris Isaak on stage. And it was Chris Isaak. And he was doing Pretty Woman. He sounded amazing. And of course he did Wicked Games. And I was like, God damn, this guy's talented. And that drummer is like a studio cat. I've seen that dude before. It's not Kenny Aronoff, but it's one of those guys. He's around. And they're doing Pretty Woman here. He's doing it with this woman. Oh, my God. It sounded so freaking good. What a talent, man. And then the house band came out and they were playing. On the ceiling, there are horses. It was at the Wild something Saloon. Something. There's the CEO hanging out. There's that Peavey guitar I was talking about. Again, gorgeous top. Love the top on that. And you can see the bird's eyes right in that fingerboard. Nice bird's eye fingerboard and a flame top. It's got all the accoutrements. I think we're over in the Jackson area now, looking at maybe some EVHs. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. You know, so I guess. I'd have to play it. It feels unnaturally good. I don't know. That was the super expensive one. I don't know what it costs, but it's a ridiculous amount of money. It's probably as much as the one made out of a slab of wood. It's like all the hand crap. Yeah, it's $25,000. 25,000. Fellas, you have to check Chris Buck out. He's a true talent. Yeah, I was hanging with Chris at our layover in Amsterdam. He was at TGU, where we were acquaintances, but in Amsterdam, we became friends. Yeah, it's all the stuff from the original, right? The funky Floyd. with the soldered on stuff with the stuff. Jackson. I want to say Jackson. Kind of cool. 7-string isn't my thing though. But it had the roasted maple neck. Everybody's doing roasted maple now, bros. Roasted maple is a thing. It's like totally a thing. It's like ice beer. Let's see how long it lasts. Again, back to this. I must have taken like 10 photos of this. Of these three, which one do you like? I think I like the blue. The black, the orange, and the blue. I think I'm going blue. Just saying. The orange is nice. Maybe a little bit too much for me. Yeah. This is just more at the Gibson booth. There's your 50s. There's your other 50s. There's your other 50s. There's your 60s, right? You can see the knob change. And then that's the, what is that, the LPJ? Right? In TV yellow. And of course, now we're at the factory. I'm about to get shut down with my photographing because we're waiting to go on the tour. So we're going through, I'm like, woo, let's take a bunch of photos. Woo, we're at the Gibson factory. Woo. And then they're like, yeah, you put all cameras away. But before they told us to put cameras away, I really like the Les Paul Custom like that. I really love the straight up black Les Paul Custom. Just something about that guitar. I love it. And some people saying orange. Really? Some people saying, I'm seeing a lot for the orange. All right. There we go. Yeah, I think it's some SGs. This is at the factory. This is the factory showroom. So when you go to the factory, they have a showroom. You can just go in and try any guitar you want. And they had, I forgot about the Gibson made amps, but they had some classic Gibson amps at the factory too. Pretty good. Yeah, this is like a custom pickguard that they would do. They would do promotions. And so custom pickguard they did on some models. Again, we're at the factory. It's just a Epiphone Les Paul. Love the color on that though. I've been saying that the finishes out of China have just been epic. It's really, really good stuff. More with the finishes. There's like the vintage wall. Those are all original Epiphones. If you like the Epiphone, those are them. The more modern stuff with some Steinberger and other stuff mixed in. In other stuff, I see some Masterbuilt. I see some Steinbergers on the far left. And, yeah, a whole bunch of... Again, we're at the Epiphone factory. And now we're on to the important stuff. We're at the Epiphone the party, and it's being held at Martin's Barbecue, which was pretty good. Anyone from Nashville, put me down. I think I like peg leg porker better. I'm just saying. Martin's was good, wasn't bad. It was definitely tasty. But I might go, I think I might be going a little bit better on peg leg porker. But, Martin's has 3 locations, and, I was only at, I suppose, one of the locations. So, again, this is upstairs. So we were downstairs at Martin's, and then we went upstairs, and they had a big place. It wasn't air conditioned up there, and it was hot as just all out. But, you settle down. That's why they have the water. See the water right here to the side? That's because it was so hot up there. People had a drink. This was filled with like ice water, keeping everybody cool. This band kicked ass. The headliner was L.A. Guns, but this band was pretty freaking awesome. It's me and Sean, my dude. And this is me waiting for my plane. I said, maybe I'll just take the Uber over early, you know? I mean, why not just get there early? So I got there, went through security, grabbed myself a big fat latte drink, went over and sat down, and I looked outside, and I was like, oh my God! To the flight back. It was just brutal. And we finally got out in the tarmac, and I was like, oh, good, the sun. We're going to make it. We're just going to get in the air. And then, like, all this, like, showed up. It was just brutal. And I have some footage, but when we got up in the air, the lightning was, like, right outside the plane. It was pretty damn scary. I think that is the last photo. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more to the right, only the left. Yeah, and I'm taking off, so that would be the end of it. Anyway, and... Oh, hold on. That was my Nashville trip. All right, I'm out of coffee. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. There was a lot of lightning going on outside the plane. But, you know. See you, Guitar Hack. Yeah, I really love Monell's. It's especially if you show there with a large enough party, you just get one table to yourselves. But they cram you all in on a table, and basically they just bring out big giant baskets of food, and you pass it around, biscuits and cornbread and fried chicken and mac and cheese and just unbelievable. Yeah, no, I've had the mic for a while. I've switched to this mic versus the lav mic because I just think it picks me up without picking up I have the whatchamacallit going, the air conditioner going. It's so freaking loud. Using Sennheiser HT600 headphones. I don't think so. I think they're 558s. Five 558. They might have been replaced with the 600s. Would you ever bother with a DIY strike kit? I don't think so. I like playing them and fixing them, but not making them. What's up, Brian? Yeah, the food down there is just amazing. It's really, really good food down there. And what else? Got drunk. Not really. I don't drink that much. Do you think big tube amps are still practical? I don't know about big tube amps, but tubes, they're still not going anywhere, well, at least for right now. I do think the Black Spirit 200 sounds good, but it uses sag. It's the sag simulation that really makes that amp sound amazing. Steve, have you ever used a lace sensor pickup? I just put one in the neck. It's amazing. The only lace sensors I have is a long time ago I put the lace sensor Holy Grail set in my Strat, and I think they sound pretty good. What is sag? Sag is it's sort of a softening of the power amp section, a little bit of an overdrive. You can almost get it to sound kind of distorted, pretty saturated a little bit by making it simulates overdriving the power amp section. And when you're on a clean tone, when you have the sag all the way down, it sounds like one way, almost a little too poppy, unless that's what you're really going for. If you want it to be a little bit more mellow and not as, harsh or bright, unless you're doing like a funk thing, right, where you want that real bite, right? But if you want it to be more mellow, more pushed, you turn the sag up a little bit, and it makes a world of difference. It's really is like night and day, And of course, the higher you go with that, the more it's going to sound more like a crunch amp. But it's different. It's power amp overdrive versus preamp overdrive, and they don't react quite the same, right? They're different beasts. Sag lowers the voltage. No, what happens is that when you'd crank an amp way up, and now you're playing guitar through it, it would tax the power amp so much it would cause some clipping. But the clipping would be really good. It would sound nice and warm. It's very soft clipping. And it, depending on how much you had it cranked up would depend on how much you clipped. And, so you could just get it a little bit and get it to be more like pushed, than really distorted. Or you could crank it all the way up and just, go nuts. What about GFS pickups? Have you tried them? I think I did. I think somebody had like the Van Halen one or something. Didn't they have one that was sort of like we call it like the VH friggin' vintage, right? The vintage H or something, right? To make it kind of sound like Van Halen, but not Van Halen, so you don't have to pay him. Never says like, I think it was called like the Vintage Hot or something like that. That's a pretty good. I thought it sounded pretty good. I kind of like, I like DiMarzio and I like Seymour Duncan. I like EMG. I like all your major brands. I don't have a problem with them. Yeah, the VEH, right? Yeah. Was the EVH GFS. I'm like, yeah, right? Yeah, kind of a goof on it, right? Oh, I didn't know so GFS moved to Florida, huh? No, you rock. Steve, have you tried Fishman Fluence pickups? As a matter of fact, I have. When we were out at the Rocking 1000, Ibanez provided the guitars, and I went with this amazing RG, I want to say it was the 5120 in Frozen Ocean, which was this weird color that if you looked at it at one angle, you could see the wood underneath, and if you looked at it another angle, you couldn't see through it, and you saw this swirly, like icy blue finish. It was kind of cool. And that had Fishman Fluence in it. And I was like, I like these pickups. They sounded pretty damn good. And it had a single coil switch on it, too, which is, what does that even mean with Fluence? I don't know. I don't know how they work. So, people have been asking you if you checked out the 3 lines of Squier Starcasters. No, I skipped the Starcaster. I remember those as a kid, and they were not good guitars, and so I'm sure they're much better now, but that headstock has got bad association with it for a guy my age, because those weren't particularly good guitars for a Fender back in the day of the Starcaster. So I didn't check them out at all. It's not really my style of guitar. I think I might have checked out the Ventura line, which looks to be like sort of a mix of classic and modern. And that was about it. Ventura. I remember checking out those a little bit. But the Starcaster was never on my radar. Have you played a Charvel SoCal? Yeah. Yeah, Starcaster. Steve, did you upgrade to THU? I did. You're listening to it now. Texas barbecue is pretty much the way to go, and that's hard to admit. No, Texas, Dallas, Hard 8, or the Pecan Lodge. Those are 2 pretty damn good barbecue places. I tell you, we just did whatever that was, Hard 8 there. Hard 8, I think. The last time we were in Dallas, and damn, was that good. Just friggin' amazing. Am I selling the red guitar on the wall? No, I'm selling this one, though. That's an expensive guitar anyway. What setting do you use on your speakers? I don't know what you mean. I'm not going through any speakers. I'm just running direct. But what am I running through? Let me just call it. I'm running through an M Vintage. Just straight up M Vintage, which is clearly a Marshall, but they can't use the word Marshall because they don't pay for it. So they have to call it M Vintage. Strat 700, and it's an American-made. That's a friggin' top of the line. That's a deluxe. That's not even the standard. It's not even an American standard. Good luck getting a deluxe for 700. just bought Vola Blaze X. Yeah, those are great. They had a new Vola there with a roasted maple neck that was like one of the smoothest necks I've ever felt in my life. I was like, God damn, that is amazing. And they had a version of this. This is the USA-made one. They had a Japanese-made one that had like wood bobbins on the pickups. It was sick. And the neck, although it was the same size, it actually curved over a little more quickly. The curvature was slightly off, so it feels a little smaller, even though, in a very real sense, it's exactly the same. What does it weigh? What does this weigh? I'm going to guess 8 pounds or so. It's not light, but it's not heavy. 7.5, 8 pounds. Tone King says to see if you can get a better price. I've already come down 50, so I don't think I'm going beyond that. Thanks, Musical Monkey. Have a good night. What year is this? This is a 2002? 2001. No, not with shipping. You have to cover the shipping. No, not with case and shipping. Without case and without shipping, you'd have to cover the shipping, and I don't think I have a case for it. They gave it to me in a non-fender case, and it just bangs around in there. I wouldn't even ship it in that case. It would, I wouldn't feel good about it. Most likely I'd box it up in a guitar box, and then box that box in another box, and then send it out. And it can get a little pricey, Is it listed on Reverb? It's not listed on Reverb. I don't have a Reverb account. Listed on eBay? No. Yeah, no. Krell Bar, you've been going a little nuts. If you offered to buy this, I'd probably have an intervention. I know I probably would sell it a lot faster if I had a Reverb account, because then people can buy it with plastic, Thoughts on the Boss Katana Air? I did play with it a tiny bit at the first TGU, and it sounded pretty awesome. I've never really messed with it compared to the Yamaha. The Yamaha has a lot of fans out there, though. I suspect the Katana might have a lot more features, so the Katana is a fairly full-featured amp. So I don't know what they strip out for the Katana Air. Assuming it's the same as my Katana 100, I bet it's pretty damn awesome. Type of pickups in it. So it's the Fender. They're all Fender. So it's the Fender noiseless for the neck in the middle, and I want to say it's the the V-twin at the bridge, right? I think. V-twin turbo? V-twin. I think it's just called the V-twin. What fuzz do you use? I don't really have a fuzz pedal. Maybe the fuzz pedal is the closest I have, but that's not really a fuzz. Favorite looper pedal? I have the... I can't even think of the name of it, but I have the TC Electronic one, the Ditto. But Boss just came out with one that looks pretty sick. That was just at the Summer NAMM. It's got like a little built-in drum machine. It can do like multiple, lanes. So you can layer up and then layer back down again and switch to whole new parts. It's pretty crazy. No, Whip, I think the flashback is the delay, right? I think it's called the Ditto. I need a fuzz, yeah. You know what? Engel might have sent me a fuzz. I give you the Engel fuzzy head. I haven't plugged it in. I don't know how it sounds, but I do have a fuzz pedal. Right now, that's standing as my favorite fuzz pedal. Until I hear a second fuzz pedal, that's probably it. And here's a little micro Boss amp. I stole this at TGU. Just threw it right in my bag. Later, suckers. Have a good one, Glenn. Thanks for hanging out and staying up late. I appreciate it, man. Don't talk about DeKrell Bar about selling stuff. He's been buying a lot of stuff lately. Exactly, Webb. Your live streams get demonetized for playing other bands. Only once. Apparently it was a little too close. But, yeah. It's pretty rare. I think just once. Help if my finger were in the right place. 105 here in LA. We were really hot last week when I got back. We were like 98, 99 degrees, which is really hot for us. But the dew point was like 78. It was like gross, like ridiculously muggy. That blew out, got kind of chill, but it's been warming up. Yesterday was like in the low 80s, a little crisper and drier. Today was a little muggier, but it's still not too bad in the mid 80s. Tomorrow's going to be 10 degrees warmer. You could feel the wind shift out of the south today, big time. I had to do so much freaking yard work. God, it's like that sun just beating down on you, but I didn't trim. I have all these hedges and bushes out front, like, a lot of vegetation out there, and it really just got too close to the house. It will actually cause mold on your house. You got to really keep it about a foot away from your house. So I had to go out there and just go to town. And I tell you one thing I learned today, and that is laying a tarp down on the ground and letting everything fall down on the tarp, and then raking what didn't fall down onto the tarp, and then having your son grab the other side of the tarp and just folding that shit up and throw it in the back of the van is the easiest friggin' way to bring clippings up to the dump. Oh my God, what a time saver. Did that a couple of times. I really whacked out like a huge, huge amount of clippings from out front. The problem is you hold those power tools for so long, I can really feel like a little tendonitis on the top of my hand. I'm like, that's not good, You get a lot of fret sprout there in the winter, because the winters here are bone dry. I mean, the difference in humidity between our winter and our summer is like crazy. When it's super humid out, the neck swells up and the sprout goes away. It sinks into the side of the neck. In the wintertime, the neck dries out, it shrinks down, the frets stay the same size, and they poke out the side. The tarp is a must, right? Oh my God. Where have you been all my life? The tarp. All praise the tarp. God. It makes a huge friggin' difference. Because before, I'd have barrels, right? But you can't really rake it into a barrel because it's just, it's branches. It's a lot of branches. My God, I was so friggin' overgrown. It was hard to walk up our staircase, right? It's like you were brushing something on the way up. It was so overgrown. I had to cut that way. Even my wife was like, oh my God, you cut this so far back. I'm like, I had to. It's like, now you can see the stairs. Now the sun can hit the front of the house and, it won't get so moldy. It's like, we can't have it. Actually, 40C is like a little over 100. Awesome guitar tones tonight. I'm pegging it all on this amazing Fender Strat, which can be yours. For only does come with a whammy. Does come with a whammy bar. See you, Paul. To work landscaping, you'd put the tarp down and then they'd catch them as it went down. Yeah. No, it was out of control out there. And some of the big wood stuff, the trimmer won't work, so you have to. And let me just tell you, you gotta oil that sucker up. It makes a huge difference whether or not, if you've got one of those cross blade, hedge trimmers. Oiled and unoiled, it's like night and day how well it works. So a well-oiled one makes a huge friggin' difference. And, I was ripping right through that stuff today. But I got to use the loppers for all the big wood because, you're going to burn out the motor on the, on the hedge trimmer if you use it. But, I literally didn't do it at all last year at all. I missed the whole summer. And, this year I waited until it's the end of friggin' July before I went out and did it. So it was a lot. What's up, David? This is a Vola. That's a Fender. That's a Vola. That little bit right there is Dan Electro. And that's another Fender right there. But that's a Vola. Yeah, just chainsaw everything. You guys are talking about actual tarps. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about tarps. Pixie ever start like yours? You lube the nut. I heard not to do that. They say use graphite if you're going to do it. But I've sort of stayed away from it. I don't seem to have a problem. But yeah, I heard don't use liquid lube on these. Tarp time, the new channel. It's Tops. Tusk XL. Yeah, for a Tusk XL, I would just use either what do they call that? Ceramic, like a ceramic lube, or a graphite. What's your favorite guitar? I don't think I have a favorite. It depends on my mood. You ever use alternate tunings? I used to do it more. Not so much, but I used to do a bunch of Stones stuff. And I would do the open D and the open G and the open E tunings. What's up, Black Country Blues? Yeah, the Tarp King. Yeah, Zach, that wouldn't work out. It is a right-handed guitar. Later, Soda. Pixie leaves. Oh, keep them coming. These were. What patch are you using at the moment? That is a good question. I'm running dual heavy rig. Patch 13. I use that one a lot. I really like it when I back. Works really good backed off. And then, it blooms. Okay. Oh, I'm going to move my leg. I'm going to start cramping up here. They never tell you about the dangers of live shows when they're signing up for YouTube. There we go. Carpy lick. It's top. It's top time. It's Steve from Boston. Some Stevie. Am I out? My freaking leg. You in? What'd I do? There it is. I think I unplugged it with my foot. See you, Mark. Yeah, there's no string tree because these are the staggered ones, so they go down. So they're pulling down with the down. Have a good night, Rob. Crying in the Rain by Whitesnake? I don't think I know that one. Do I know that one? I don't think I do. What's your favorite pizza chain? Well, we have a place up here called Pizza Palace that I really like. I think they're easily the best pizza in town. But of the big chains, God, they all just, they're so weak. It used to be easy. I would just say it would, it would be like Papa Gino's, but even Papa Gino's, it might be Papa John's, which, I mean, it's a pretty low friggin' bar if you're saying that. Expert. What do you think of the 80s sound of Robert Baker? He's got it down. He knows what he's doing. Hey, what's up, Arnold? I know Papa John's is Grail Bar, but you gonna tell me Domino's is better? Really? I used to say it would be Papa Gino's, but the Papa Gino's around us have just turned to absolute garbage. And so you can't go to Papa Gino's anymore. They're crap. And so who you left with? Pizza Hut? Please. That's barely pizza. Barely. And Little Caesars? Garbage. Just complete hot garbage. Some of the worst pizza ever. So, from many options, we're left with one. And that's Papa John's. I mean, of all those like I said, the best one around here by far is Pizza Palace. They're friggin', it's an old Italian style place, and my God, they're good, man. They're really good. Henning called me Grumpy Thoughts. I support his grumpy claim. is a place up north. It's not really a big chain, but it's called Flatbread Pizza. And their pizza is actually pretty good, right? You can get it with, like, mesclun greens and goat cheese, right? But it's not really like the chain, right? It is a chain, but it isn't a chain. It's an expensive place to go and sit and have a pizza, flatbread pizza. So, I don't know if I even really count them, What's up, Edward? Yeah, Costco pizza's better than Papa John's. You might be right on that. If you're ever in Alabama, you should go to Tuscan Oven Pizza. Great pizza joint. Okay. And we have, Greek pizza places around here. We have a lot of pizza places, right? Little Italian joints. But of all of them, I think the best one is Pizza Palace. Cornmeal crust. It can hold. It's not soggy. It just they make the best pizza around. You can get in everything, and it you can eat it. It stands up, right? To the heavy toppings. But we have some Greek pizza around here. There was one really good place, but they changed hands, and like anything, it's not quite the same. But that's a little thicker. The Greek pizza. We have a lot of Greek pizza around here. Costco pizza is surprisingly good. Yeah, well, because they have the right temperature oven, right? Pizza's all about cooking it at a temperature that you can't get in your home oven. Your home oven maxes out at about 500 degrees, but pizza really needs around 6 and a quarter to cook up right. Yeah, well, Greek pizza is very different. It's a different crust. It's a crispier crust, right? Favorite burger chain, Five Guys. Don't even have to think about that. It's Five Guys. Nobody's touching Five Guys. They're the ones to beat. Smash Burger, too salty. Shake Shack, small portion size and not as nearly as good a product as Five Guys. Five Guys is just, they're crushing it right now. I don't think anyone can touch them, on a straight up burger. When people say like In-N-Out, yeah, but In-N-Out's different. They're the best of the big chains. Much better than like Whataburger. You like Schecter guitars? I really like Schecter, especially the Nick Johnson model, which is a Strat, basically, but it's a really good one. I also like the Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder, particularly the model with the Sustainiac in it. Pretty awesome, and they're cheap. You can get them used like $500-600. In-N-Out is good, but for the big chains, In-N-Out is probably the best one. But I think, for the most part, it's tough to beat Five Guys. See, we don't have Epic Burger around here. Finally got a Sonic in, but I heard their burgers are meh. Their burgers are meh. Sonic is cafeteria food. Their drinks are the best, item on their menu, I think. The tater tots are sort of okay. Their pretzel dog actually isn't bad. I think I had a bite of one of my son had one. Didn't finish it. I said, I'll finish it. And that was pretty tasty. And I think I got a Chicago dog there, but it's off the menu. A lot of their menu stuff just comes and goes. But their burgers there are like steamed hams, they're not quite, McDonald's or just about everybody else has a better burger. The problem with Smash Burger is every time we go there, God, it's so salty. And I'm a guy who doesn't even really mind salt, but our location, God damn, is it salty. Everything is just friggin' salty. Rock on, Mark. No, you rock, bro. Yeah, Burger King, they don't know what they want to do. They're all over the place. They came out with a taco. They're like, they don't know what to do. Burger King's in like friggin' free fall. Burgers are for boys, steaks are for men. Best steakhouse? Well, Capitol Grill. Capitol Grill is pretty good. Abe and Louise is okay. I think a little overpriced. I think, quite frankly, I think the best value in a steak, and again, I'm talking like chains, right, is Ruth's Chris. Ruth's Chris. See ya, all it did. $8.55. Oh my God. I think I like this mic. Cracker Barrel is the best food you can get. Yeah, we went to Cracker Barrel for breakfast. It was interesting. A little druggy. Favorite tacos? Well, that's a good question. I kind of like the like when they do like the pork shank or what am I trying to think, like the Korean barbecue style tacos. I really like that, or the Jamaican jerk. They'll do like almost like a barbecue style. I like barbacoa. Tacos they're so wide open, right? There's so many different meats you can use, so many different, fillers you can put in. You want a soft taco. You want a hard taco. Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts for coffee, Starbucks for donuts. dunks. Is Baker still here? It's a roller nut. That's what the nut is on this Strat. The correct answer is roller nut. I can't drink Dunkin' coffee. It's not strong enough. I've moved on to the hard stuff. So when I was out in Nashville, I said, you know what, I'm going to be like a super cool dude. I'm going to go to Krispy Kreme, and I'm going to bring, how close is like, first I was going to bring Dunks, right? Because, you know, Dunks is close to my heart, being a Boston-based brand. Their headquarters is literally the next town over. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna bring the Dunks. And then I found out how far away Dunks was. I said, well, scratch that. But there was a, you know, Google Maps is like, oh, what do you want, donuts? Because there's a Krispy Kreme like 2 blocks from you. It was like 0.2 of a mile. I'm like, well, that I can do. So I walk out and I walked to Krispy Kreme. It was so friggin' hot out. I kept walking along the side of the building to stay in the 2 feet of shade that was along the side of it. It was like the sun was just a beat down. So I got to Krispy Kreme, and when I got in there, it looked like they were setting up for a birthday party. There were like balloons, happy birthday balloons everywhere. I said, well, it looks like someone's having their party here. Pretty cool. Krispy Kreme party. Showing up, I said, well, listen, I need a dozen of the, you know, of the hot glazed, and I need a dozen assorted, and we just threw together 2 dozen. And a dozen assorted is like $13, and a dozen plain, you know, glazed is like $9. So I was expecting around $22 roughly for it to be, and he rang me up and he goes, $13, like $13.80. And I was like, no. I said, I got 2 dozen. I got 2. He goes, yeah, it's our birthday. It's a baker's dozen, so if you buy a dozen, you get a dozen free. I was like, what? Things never go my way. It's like, that's unbelievable. So I was all happy with myself. I was like, you know, I envy you. Talking to myself, of course. But I wound up just going and parking my butt in a booth and calling my Uber straight from there. I said, well, why even walk back to the hotel? Just go straight from here. So I went there, and that was a fun walk-in because everyone was like, oh, you brought me my Krispy Kreme. But damn, they're good. Krispy Kreme donuts are pretty damn awesome. Yeah, Arnold, see, you have much better tacos than we do because you're down in authentic taco land. I got Northeast Tacos. It's a grim situation. I know a baker's dozen is supposed to be 13 donuts instead of 12, but that's what it rang up on my receipt, and it said like baker's dozen, and next to that 0. And I was like, that the 0 was the part of that line that was really talking to me. Eddie Van Halen or Randy Rhoads? I'm going Van Halen. All right, well, it's 9 o'clock. I probably have to let my family out of sequester because they're all avoiding the first floor while I do the live show. So, yeah, I think we're going to wrap this up. It's 9:01 p.m. Thanks to everyone who hung out. Super thanks to everyone that contributed. Much, much appreciated, especially after taking a trip. I'll probably have another live show in a couple of weeks, and then I'm off to Germany again in September. So more slideshows are on the way. And, yeah, there you have it. All right, dudes. No, you rock. All right, here we go. I'm scrolling up. No, you rock. All right, here we go. Yeah, peak and current 312. That's pretty good. Oh, and I just hit 2 hours. So there you have it. All right, dudes. No, you rock. I will, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, as always, rock on.